of our borders, it's easier to move from there out. I recall an incident at the Kano airport where a student that was supposed to be going to Egypt was arrested with so much quantity of Valium. So it's actually meant to be exported from there largely. But just like Nigeria was a transit country those days, and we thought that was cool, but we don't take it, okay. But now it started dropping. I think that is what is happening in Kano. It's meant to go out, but in the process, they started using. And when you look at the ratio of the children on the streets and the one in school, it has not helped matters. There is a huge population of young people doing nothing and without any hope of doing anything positive. It's huge. It's frightening on the streets of Kano and most of these northern states. And I'm happy that this is well recognized by the authorities in the north. I'm waiting for the Governors Forum, Northern Governors Forum. I've seen their wives being very active in this. I'm waiting for the Governors Forum. I'm waiting for the emirs, the imams to wake up and see the reality of the danger that everybody is sitting upon.
Could you tell us
it is eating the future of northern Nigeria.
All right.
We were talking of educationally disadvantaged, and it was largely in the north. You cannot afford to add the consequence of the huge quantity of drug we have now with the ease at which people acquire illegal arms, with the illegal proceed of corruption that you find. When you combine these three, there cannot be peace. Yes.
All right. Tell us then. I mean, you always tell, when you were in the NDLEA, there was this comment that we were a transit country. But now, are you saying that that has changed?
Yeah. It has since changed. Chamberlain, it has since changed. And the reality is that we are now a consuming nation. Every other house in your neighborhood here, there is somebody that is battling with addiction. It's as bad as that. You can see I'm on top of my voice because that is the level we are in the issue of drugs in Nigeria. It is gone beyond trying to talk fine, because we are not at peace. And I do not see peace in the nearest future, because I do not see serious efforts at combating the problem. There is desire, there is technical know-how, there are people, there are officers on ground to do this work. Do not get me wrong. There is an agency, there are interagency collaboration and all that. But believe me, the theory is getting too much. The problem on ground should be tackled. Right. We've talked enough. Enough of talking. Take these streets, take the drugs off the streets.
Let's look at the practical steps in terms of what we should be doing. Now we do have the NDLEA. We also have several other agencies, maybe hospitals that are supposed to be psychiatric hospitals, for instance. Can we say, or would it be fair for us to say that first, the NDLEA may not have that capacity to go this all alone and ensure that they make their impact on this?
No, it's not whether we can say. They pronounce that. The representative of the Attorney General, who was there for 10 years himself, said it on behalf of the Attorney General. The NDLEA does not have the capacity to fight it alone. And the international community is aware. That's why they do not think it's our battle alone. That's why they support us. But government, Nigerian people, let me start by saying Nigerian people first, because I saw that if we had left government alone on the issue of Chibok girls under the last administration, it was to be ignored that it was a figment of imagination until after almost about 2 weeks. So Nigerians cried, international community echoed it, then the villa woke up. So maybe Nigerians need to cry more. Instead of hiding, you are afraid of your son being seen as a drug addict. That's why you don't want to talk. Meanwhile, you have heard stories, even in Abuja here, in our cool Abuja here, of a mother being murdered by her own son. You know, predicated on the issue of drugs. How many can you count in Kano? They are in public domain. So Nigerians should cry out that this drug fight is our priority. And in my own little way, that's why I'm crying out that this issue of drug is as urgent, as serious as Boko Haram. How many boys will Boko Haram be able to recruit without drugs? If not before they get there, after they get there and the assignments start coming, you need drugs to be able to carry out such assignments. And that is why I am happy to answer to your call anytime, because you gave me the opportunity as a country to know how much I know about the challenges we have on drugs. Everybody cannot be in NDLEA. So the people you send there must do their work, but you must help them to do the work.
In looking at the practical
steps, yes.
My apologies. In looking at the practical steps we must take to try to resolve these problems, if we can, or how far we can go about that. You did mention in your opening sequence about some places in Nigeria where that plant is being grown, be it opium or whatever it is. That plant is being grown in Nigeria in some places here. What must be done to be able to get to those areas, identify who are the farmers of that plant, that particular plant, and apprehend them? What has been done along that line?